Beats Planet.
Yo. Testing. What's good, y'all? Voch Lombardi. Lombardicus Prime. Vegan Voch, sometimes. John Wick III. What's good, y'all? What's good? So I'm wrapping up my, I would call it, the big boy portion of the evaluation or whatnot. You know what I mean? Some previous years I chose to look at, wide receivers first or DBs first, just kind of depending on the field of the draft. Well, it's a lot of D linemen in this draft. It's a lot of O linemen in this draft, so I did them first, okay? So edge, we're going to discuss edge and we're going to move on with our life. We're going to talk about it today. I have 23 or so names that I watch film on, okay? We're going to discuss those guys today. Then after that, we're going to move on to skill players. So we're going to watch some film, really grind on these receivers and DBs and tight ends, running backs, guys like that. Boy, y'all be lucky to get another linebacker film out of me. You'll be lucky to get it. And I may not even fool with too much more quarterback this year, It's just those, it just ain't the year, man. It ain't the year. Voch, it's time to talk about your son, Chris Lindstrom. No, the last episode in which we talked about offensive linemen was the time we talked about my son, Chris Lindstrom. Today, we're talking about edge players. We got some edge. Montez Sweat kind of make people giggle a little bit from his combine performance. We're going to talk about all that good stuff. And I finally wrapped up all my stuff. So let me just set the plate for you a little bit. The phones are lit today. So if you want to call in to talk about edge players, we can do that. Somebody asked me about N'Keal Harry early in the chat about edge players. Then we can do that. I kind of want to know where y'all rank them, how y'all feel about them this year, some of the top guys or whatever. But for the most part, I'm going to basically run down these guys and how I feel about them. All right? And you can feel free to agree or disagree and how we're going to address the Q&A portion of this deal or whatever. If you have a question you want to ask me, of course, Super Chats get priority. So at the end when we're doing the Q&A, I'm going Super Chats first, and they're definitely guaranteed that I'm going to get into the chat box, and we'll get into that. All right, before we get started on that, hey, y'all see the joint, you know what I'm saying? The kid, know what I mean? You know what I mean? I want y'all to be able to express yourself, man. Let me get this out of the way. The Metal Gear Solid fan. I want y'all to be able to express yourself, man. You know what I mean? Just express yourself. A lot of these other football fans don't watch film necessarily, right? But y'all watch film. You're a different breed of football fan. You're educated. You're not just driving off emotional based on the opinions of Stephen A. Smith and the rest of the peanut gallery, man. Express yourself. Express yourself. It ain't just offensive lineman. If linebacker film puts the nipple on the titty for you, then go get some linebacker film in your life. You know what I'm saying? Go get some of that in your life. Hell, I'm rocking the offensive line joint today. It comes in shirt form, hoodie form. I got the exclusive joint because it's mine. So I get to do what I want to do with it. I get to put it on coffee mugs if I want to. You're damn right. It's better than Gucci. Black owned. Salute to you, sir. So hey man, if y'all want to support Voch Lombardi, hold it down for me. And make that happen. Whatever position you feel comfortable expressing as a form of porn for you, because I've said it a bunch. Well done offensive line film is just like porn to me. Express yourself. All right? It kind of looks like the Pornhub logo. Hey, I don't know why you would say that. I don't know why you say that. So guys, I have watched film on. If you got a question about a guy I haven't watched film on, you can let me know, and I'll write that name down, and we'll run it for the cardio. Nick Bosa, Ohio State. Josh Allen, Kentucky. Brian Burns, Florida State. Cleveland Farrell, Clemson. Montez Sweat, Mississippi State. Ja'Kai Polite, Florida. His homeboy CeCe Jefferson, also Florida. Jalen Ferguson, La Tech. O'Shane Zimenez from from Old Dominion. Coach Evans' guy, Joe Jackson from the U. Chase Winovich from Michigan. Zach Allen, Boston College. Both the Georgia guys. DeAndre Walker and what's my other man's name? What's my man's name? I ain't got him written down here, but I know I watched him. What's my man's name? Ledbetter. Jonathan Ledbetter. That's his name, I believe. From I need to write his name down. John Ledbetter, Georgia. All right, cool. Both the TCU kids, Ben Bonogo and my son LJ Collier. Anthony Jenkins is on this list. I ain't been hearing nothing about him, so I don't know, but I did look at him. Jalen Jokes from Oregon. Byron Coward from Maryland. Byron Coward. You know, it's funny because when you watch film on him, he was actually he was Auburn first, but he ended up in Maryland. Charles Amenahu, Charlie Oak, from Texas. Carl Granderson from Wyoming. Oh, there's his name right there, Jonathan Ledbetter. Okay, let me erase that. And Anthony Nelson from Iowa. Took a look at him, and Sutton Smith from Northern Illinois. So those are the guys I've watched. Okay, I guess I'll just get into a little bit of it. And you know, this ain't my ranking show. Okay, that video is gonna come tomorrow. Like when I finally make my mind about ranking and I do the setup or whatever, and I'll go from there. But those are the guys that I've watched, man. And it's an interesting class, man. Pretty deep class. This is the interesting part about the class. And y'all can feel free to call into the show. The number's on the screen, 515-739-1285, access code 309104. The interesting thing about this class, and y'all tell me if I'm bugging when I say this, the guys that are highly touted are the ones I have a lot of questions about. But the guys that are considered day two guys, I kind of like them a little bit more. Y'all tell me if I'm bugging. Tell me if I'm bugging, man. So what I mean by that, so Nick Bosa, I ain't got a problem with Nick Bosa, right? Josh Allen, I think he's being ranked a bit high, but they're ranking him as a complete player. They're ranking him as a linebacker. I'm not putting him in the linebacker group. He's an edge player to me. But guys like Brian Burns, Cleveland Farrell, Montez Sweat, Ja'Kai Polite, I got a lot of questions about those guys. You know, plenty questions about those guys. But man, guys like Joe Jackson make me excited. Man, guys like Joe Jackson got me excited. Guys like LJ Collier got me excited. Boy, I love watching LJ Collier. Charles Amena, who did pretty good in the Senior Bowl. I like Charlie O. You know what I'm saying? So some of the smaller name guys, the lesser touted guys or whatever, those are the ones that we ain't really talking about that much. But these top few names or so, you know, there's some conversation to be had about them. You know what I mean? There's some conversation to be had about them. I saw a super chat from Steven Benzik. I know I said we was going to wait, but he's the GOAT, so I jumped to him first. He said, what do you think about Sutton Smith from Northern Illinois? He might have to find a new sport to play, fam. In the grand scheme of things, he's going to have to find a new sport to play, man. He's going to have to be like a stand-up linebacker type of guy. You know what I mean? He can run past somebody if the situation is right. I just don't see him being able to do it on a consistent level, but whatever. But Nick Bosa, we know about him, man. Super hands guy, technique guy. Everybody in that family can pass rush. Their mama can pass rush too. We ain't got to talk about Nick very long. I did raise this question in my in my Facebook groups. I talked about it on my Twitter, and then I talked about this on the last live stream too. But in case there are some new people here, I see about 100 or so people watching. I was talking about Josh Allen, right? Pardon me, excuse me. I was talking about Josh Allen, and I was talking about his ability only as a pass rusher because he's the second overall player in a lot of these guys' board. He's like third, whatever, right? So I ask people, I say, look, as pass rushers, based on your college evaluation of them, right? Take away what their pro ability is because, you know, you can look at what they do in the pros and you can kind of feel a little bias towards that. But as college players, I want you to look at Kentucky's Josh Allen. I want you to look at Harold Landry as a Boston College player, Myles Garrett as a TAMU player, and Derek Barnett as a Tennessee player. Where do you rank those guys? And Bradley Chubb as a North Carolina State player. Where do you rank those guys purely as pass rushers? And the trend that I noticed was a lot of guys had Josh Allen either fourth or fifth as a pure pass rush. I think there's some validity to that. I think in this class to where there's not a lot of elite talent, we look at Josh Allen as a pass rusher and go, okay, he's top 3 or so. He has to be amongst the elite. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily the case. If you rank him amongst these other guys that went way later in the draft, then you'll have some problems. Looking at Josh Allen as a pure pass rusher. Now, he's one of the top guys in this class, but I just want everybody to put into perspective what this class is like. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of questions about Josh Allen, man. Can he put it all together as a full-time pass rush? I think you can put Josh Allen's hands in the dirt and make him pass rushing that way. I think people are purely evaluating him as an outside linebacker. I'm not really eating that cheese or whatever that he's only an outside linebacker. I think he can pretty much adapt to whatever you want him to do. But I think there are some questions, man. I think there are 2 elite players in this draft so far. That's Joey Little Brother and Quentin Williams, who's the best player or whatever. And we just kind of got to temper our expectations about Josh Allen. When he gets to your team, don't expect him to get Khalil Mack sacks off the rip. And I'm going to pause this because the GOAT calling in. Steven Benson, what's cracking, brother?
What's going on, Coach? I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Doski Woski, my friend. You know, everything's everything. The Peasky Whiskey's free. What you got for the show?
So I just want to jump in really quick on one dude, actually 2 dudes. So basically for me, I really like Sutton Smith.
Sure.
But like what you said, I hate to say it, but unless he's playing special teamer,
sure,
he's not really going to have much else.
Sure.
Like, I like him.
Sure.
Dude put up some numbers at NIU.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was against MAC-level competition. I'm not saying that MAC-level competition can't be good, because we've seen, I think, Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen was a running back from the MAC conference. Yeah. You know, I mean, some dudes can come out of there. Yeah. To me, though, he didn't really do that well that I saw in the Senior Bowl. I mean, I don't even remember seeing much of him, even if at all.
He didn't have a fantastic Senior Bowl, man. Dalton Risner choked the shit out of him a lot, a bunch.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'm not saying that he can't. Now, granted, he's also only been playing edge for a couple years.
Sure.
So, because they moved him around a lot at NIU. And for the last 2 years, he's been playing edge.
Sure.
So, I'm not saying he can't do it. I wish he would have been, doing edge for a lot longer, maybe like 4+ years.
Sure.
Maybe then we'd have be able to be like, okay, yeah, he can actually do this. Or, no, he can't do this. It's only special teams.
Think about it like this, man. Think about it like this. There's a couple players in this group that are winning battles off polish alone. Guys like Chase Winovich, right? Chase ain't super impressive as a player. You know what I mean? He's not super impressive. But his polish kind of gets him along. You know what I mean? He outplays his talent, if that makes sense to you. You know what I mean? So
definitely. And that was actually one of the guys I was going to bring up.
Got you. I'm looking at Chase.
I was going to say, because
go ahead.
To me, Chase is sorry, but to me, Chase is what I was hoping Sutton is like, kind of what Sutton Smith to me could potentially be. What I mean by that is like Chase is very, very good at what he does. He's not overly talented. He's not like some guy that'll blow you out of the water with like ridiculous speed or ridiculous power, but he's very technically sound, and he's very, very good at what he does technically. And to me, I think that if Sutton Smith plays the position a little bit longer, now like I said, I still think Smith can be somewhat good. That might just be, it might also depend on the team that he goes to. Because like what you said, he's not going to be a hand in the dirt guy. He's probably going to be a stand-up on the outside and then rushing from there. Personally, I think that might be where he might fit, and if that, it's going to be a rotation, and he might be like the third one on the rotation, third or fourth guy on that side in the rotation.
Sure.
So maybe he'll get some chances. I personally, though, really, I like him, but where I like him and I think he's going to excel at is on special teams.
Sure,
like
I agree.
Maybe as a gunner, or because you're starting to see the NFL is going away from the bigger guys on special teams. It's all about fast, small guys. They want those, and Sutton's not a big guy. I think he's only like 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
Sure.
At like 220, 230.
Sure.
So he's not an overly big guy, so I think special teams is definitely where he's going to excel. But then you got a guy like Chase who he doesn't have the, I almost wonder if he doesn't have the game speed. To me, Sutton is more of like a game speed type of guy rather than combine speed, if that makes sense.
Chase,
like to me,
Chase simply ain't got the body to do it, but he knows what to do. You know what I mean? He just doesn't have the like. If Chase had Cleveland Farrell's body, you know what I mean? Like this would be a whole nother conversation. It'll be a whole nother conversation. Right. Now,
if he had Cleveland Farrell's body, he might be rivaling the Voches.
Now, let me say this:
just what he could potentially do.
Let me say this because I know it's coming. I kind of take a bad rap with these Caucasian edge players. It's nothing personal. I just really like twitchy players.
No.
And
He's
Caucasians.
not twitchy. Neither one of them is twitchy.
They really don't twitch. But let's talk about this third guy. Let me say this to you, Zach Allen. Right. This is what Zach Allen has that. What's my man? I just said Michigan that Chase doesn't have. This is what Zach. Right. Zach has an out. Chase doesn't have an out. If Zach doesn't work at edge, I think Zach can go play three tech today. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I think you add a little bit of weight, and on some of these passing downs, you put Zach Allen at 3 tech and let him fly. Chase doesn't have the option. Neither does Sutton. They can't line up in B gap and go pass rush. And I think that's where a lot of Zach Allen's value is gonna come from. I don't think he'll be a super successful edge player. Now Zach and Chase, they're both great in the run game, but it's the league now. You know what I'm saying? The league will throw that thing around on you. You know what I mean? But you can put Zach in B gap and let him fly. You can't do that with Chase or Sutton.
No, and to me, actually, I was actually thinking you could probably put Zach more as a linebacker only type guy. Like I think he could be more of like what you would call a 3-4 linebacker, where he can put his hand in the dirt. See, to me, he's more of that like he can play 3-4, but he also can play 4-3. Like to me, there's not really too many of these guys coming out in the draft this year that I personally think can play both. I think they're either specifically they're hand in the dirt guy, they're going to come off that edge flying, or they're more of that 3-4 build where they're kind of more stand-up-ish and can get you with like fast maneuverability and whatnot. Sure. And to me, Zach is one of the few guys that I actually think can play both. Like he is a good hand in the dirt. He's not like, again, he's not Nick Bosa. He's not like some of these other guys who's like extremely good, like to where you're like, oh yeah, dude is going to be good. He's more of he can be good. Chase Winovich could be good, and Sutton Smith maybe can be good. And that's literally like the 3 tiers that I have.
Yeah.
But to me, Zach Allen, I think actually can play it at edge, but I actually think more along the lines he could be a very good 3-4 linebacker where he's more off, what's the word I'm looking for? Not off the ball, but not hand in dirt where he can drop back into the coverage and can do some stuff. I'm not saying he's going to be great at it, but I think he can be okay.
I was just about to say he can, but he can play tight end as well. What? I think 3-4 end would be cool for Zach because he can actually punch and read. You know what I mean? So that's another thing you can kind of look at doing with him. But
which to me the other two can't.
absolutely,
I don't really think Chase is more of like, he's not overly great with his hands. He's good with his hands. Don't get me wrong, but he's not like the best technician you're gonna see. Chase is a weird one to me because he's very like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like.
He's a very balanced player. He's a very balanced player. You know how when you play in Mario Kart, there's the fast guys that's not heavy, and there's the heavy guys that ain't fast, and then there's Mario and Luigi that's just right in the middle. Like Chase is just right in the middle. He's a very balanced player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's why to me Chase, I think, checks off enough boxes to where you're like second, third, fourth round. I'll take him. I don't think too many teams would have a problem with him, whether it's locker room or whether it's on the field, because I think he's definitely not going to be like your number one guy.
Sure.
He'll be in a rotation, and then after a couple of years, maybe by his like third, fourth year, then you can start to see, can he handle that more of like a starter role? But again, to me, Chase is one of those guys that has to go to the right team, and it's the same thing with Sutton Smith and even Zach Allen for that matter. Some of these other guys, you could be like, yeah, okay, you can start from day one. There's no question.
Sure.
You put Nick Bosa anywhere in the league, he's going to start day one and not have any questions asked.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Some of these other guys, it's like, if they don't fall to the right team for me, I really think they're really, really going to struggle, and then they're going to have that label of, use a bust, you a bum, get out of the league. And yeah, you could say that about 95% of the guys in the draft, but I don't know. Those three, for me particularly, are like, very big question marks.
Sure.
And, yeah. But, yeah, that's all I got. I got to get back to work before I get yelled at by my boss. So, I'll talk to you later, man.
Hey, man, you one of the goats, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling, bro.
No problem, bro.
Yep. So, Stephen Benson came in and stood on the table for his white edge players. Hey, man. I'm with you, Stephen Benson. I'm with you. But, yeah, man. Yeah. It's a lot of guys, man. It's a lot of guys that can play. Let's get back into the phones, man. See what y'all talking about. I had some super chats. I saw Miss Jackie in the chat, but hey, Miss Jackie. What's good? DP up in here. Josh is a complete 3-4 outside linebacker. He's comfortable in coverage and coming off the edge. Yeah, sure. I agree. I want to pass rusher more, but, I got you. Evan Kavanaugh dropped a deuce. Salute to you, sir. Ricky Azure. He dropped a dime up in here. Happy belated, Voch. Salute, my friend. Y'all don't go nowhere. We're going to get Nick Gashler up in here because I know he got a lot to say. Then me and Nick going to host the show because that's what the hell we do typically. What's up, Nick?
How you doing, bro? Coach Voch, my bad.
Doski Woski, my friend. Doski Woski. What you got to say about these edge guys, man?
These edge guys, hold on. Let me pull up my little ranking sheet right here.
Of course you got a damn ranking sheet. Of course you got a ranking sheet.
Edge. Okay, Nick Bosa's obviously one.
Sure.
I don't really see any problem with that.
Sure.
Sweat, I have number 2.
Montez Sweat number 2. Tell me about that. Okay, do you have Josh Allen as an edge player or as an outside linebacker?
Edge.
Okay, so you got Montez Sweat ranked over Josh.
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's talk about it.
And
okay.
I'm gonna tell you all before.
Please.
This is way back before the combine.
Boy, the chat box about to get you, but go ahead.
Yeah, I know the chat box gonna get me. That's why I said this way back before the combine. Pull my little scouting report on him. My computer's having a little bit of trouble.
I don't really think while it's loading up, I don't think the combine changes how I feel about Montez Sweat though. Like everything you saw on tape pretty much confirmed. Everything you saw at the combine pretty much confirmed how you feel about Montez Sweat. Now, of course, you have a different feeling about Montez or whatever, but apparently we have a pretty good discussion on the way. Go ahead, my good sir. How do you feel about Montez Sweat? Tell me why he's number 2, and I'll tell you why he may not be.
All right, well, my biggest weaknesses on him was number 1. I think he was like 240 listed on the Mississippi State stat sheet, so I said he may be undersized but for the NFL defensive end spot, but the combine said he was up to 260, so I'm like, okay, if he can put his hand in the dirt, he can definitely play in the 4-3. So that's kind of solved at this point. My other 2, he could stand and develop those pass rushing moves. Bull rushes aren't going to work forever, especially when you're in the NFL and the guys are a lot stronger.
Absolutely.
I think he could definitely use to develop those hand usage moves. And Another thing, he doesn't show much bend off the edge. I mean, it's just the thing that we saw with his
Sure.
tight hips at the combine.
Well. See, Nick, that's two things now. First, yes, he is kind of like he's long, like he's a big, long, clunky dude. So of course he's not going to turn very well, but he's also stiff. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't really change, change directions very well. So that's something else that we gotta talk about too. And trust me, this all plays into my Montez Sweat assessment. So go ahead. I'm gonna let you rock though. But go ahead.
So that's my biggest weaknesses on him is my strength. Again, his speed is obvious, and his athleticism is obviously off the charts. We saw from that 4.41, 40, and on tape as well. Good strength. I mean, he can bull rush. Again, like I said, I don't know if it's going to work all the time on the NFL level, but it definitely will work against those tight ends and those Greg Robinsons of tackles and stuff like that. His toughness and physicality was one of my favorite traits in him. He just plays so physical. He has it's just hang on. Yeah, he has a natural nose for the ball. He can go in and stop the run. He can go in and stop the pass. He just never really stops from what I saw on tape, and that's what I really like about him, and I think he can be something like that. Yeah, he was 245 pounds going into the season. He's obviously up to 260, so that shouldn't be too big of a concern at this point anymore. That's honestly a couple of just like when you're watching film, you get a certain feel, like just a gut feeling that, man, this player's going to be good. Yeah.
Too bad I didn't get that feeling about Montez, though. There's this comment in my chat box from Knowledge 304. He's like, Voch! You saw a 4-4 coming from Montez? Come on, bro. No, I didn't see a 4-4 coming from Montez. But what I meant by I know this already is we know Montez can move fast going forward. I didn't have an exact number for it, and I definitely didn't. And I didn't see 4-4 coming. No, but we knew Montez could fly moving forward. My biggest cons for Montez is I don't think he could bend. I don't think he could turn very well, and I don't think he has a lot of polish as a pass rusher. Now, what he has is length. If he got anything, his ass got some length. He can go forward. And I don't think he's a great bull rusher per se. I just think when he gets these hands on guys and they can't get hands back on him, I think that's when you move backwards. But when he runs into people like Jonah Williams, who got good hands, or Dalton Risner, who got good hands, we kind of see Montez kind of get stood up a little bit. When I did the Montez Sweat video, I didn't know who Dalton Risner was. So when I was watching the film, and you can even go back on my film session, somebody in the chat box ate me up for it. I was like, boy, I know Montez is about to eat up Kansas State now. I just didn't expect Dalton Risner to be good at the time because I didn't know him. Like, I know Montez ain't about to, Montez about to kill Kansas State. But he didn't. And that's salute to Dalton Risner for being great. But Dalton was able to get hands inside on him. If you can defeat that length and get your hands perfect, I think you can stop a lot of what Montez does. Do I think Montez is a bad player? No, I just think he got a lot of D-line to learn. And you can't be my second edge player, and you got a lot of D-line to learn, especially when there's a lot of players that got a lot of D-line to learn. Like Brian Burns is athletic as anybody out here, but he got a lot of D-line to learn. Nick Bosa's number one because he knows a gang of D-line. You know what I mean? And I think Josh Allen knows a lot more D-line than Montez Sweat, whether it be countering, how he sets his moves up. Just being a ravenous pass rush, just knowing how to do it. I like his burst. I like his bend. Montez can't bend. Honestly, Montez can't bend. Montez will turn a damn corner. He'll turn that damn corner. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't stopping on a dime to bend that damn corner. So I just value some of those things as edge players. Now, if Voch Lombardi is the coach and my GM drafted Montez Sweat, I'm playing them at strong side defensive end and not weak side. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
That's what I would do. I don't want him bending and chasing people backside. I want him right up in the funk. I want him being physical. I want him being mean, nasty, angry asshole guy. I want him using his length, getting pushed, finding the ball, and going to go make a tackle. I don't necessarily want him rushing backside with nose help. I want him rushing front side with 3-tech help. You know what I mean? And that's what happened a lot. Jeffrey Simmons pushed a lot of damn pockets for his ass, and he got a lot of easy little goals. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thoughts. I don't hate Montez Sweat. He's just not my second player. Josh Allen is my second guy so far. But go ahead, Nick Gasher. This is some good talking right here. But go ahead.
Hell yeah. Here's my thing on. I can hear myself. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, you good. I can hear you.
Josh Allen. I watched the tapes against Florida, Georgia, and Penn State in the Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
3 sort of NFL-ready teams, or NFL-ready like players that I thought would give him the best competition.
Sure.
And the things that I found is, number one, his hand usage and pass rush ability needs to improve in order for him to be a good defensive end on the next level.
It's not elite. I give you that. It's pretty good, but it's not elite. Okay, I give you that. Okay, I got you.
A lot of times I just didn't see him being physical as a pass rusher. If I'm going to draft, I want some dude like Nick Bosa who's going to use a number of bull rushes, a number of hand usage, something like that. Just like, if you're going to be a top 5 player, I want you to be able to have those different elements in your game. And he's just missing that physicality. He just doesn't disengage. He kind of just chills there for a little bit. And number 3, his speed rush ability is so great that he sometimes forgets to slow his feet down, read the play, and go in either for the tackle or go in for the sack. It's just sometimes he'll over pursue, which causes the lineman to be able to push him up out of the play. It's just a lot of stuff that I'd like to see. His bend is incredible. Like I said, he's athletic. He size and length is decent. His coverage ability is nice. I like his coverage ability. Good strength. I'm not saying like he's like a weakling. He has good strength. He doesn't get blown up all the time. He just kind of gets into stalemates, and I don't want to see stalemates for a guy that's getting top 5 hype. So I agree with you that he is getting a little bit overhyped. He's still a very good player. I just think he didn't give me that feeling that Montez gave me. So
Nick Gasher, this is what I want you to do. Because you're a young scout, but I got a lot of respect for you. That's what I want you to do. I want you to rewatch both of those tapes, but I want you to watch them with perspective. I think you're watching Josh Allen with he's being touted as a top 5 player perspective. And I think you're watching Montez, and I think I can talk myself into making him a top 5 player perspective. I want you to just rewatch him. And I could be wrong. You could be totally right. I just want you to rewatch them with the same point of view about both players. You know what I mean? And if anything changes, let me know. It may not change, but I just want you to rewatch them, but don't think about it like that, because I find myself doing that same thing sometimes, right? And that's why I kind of that's the bad part about watching film like late. But what I do is I get away from all people's opinions, because what happens is when people say something about a top tier player, I'll go, well, that's not the case, but I'm evaluating the wrong way. You know what I mean? I want you to evaluate everybody from the same baseline. You know what I mean? I just heard you say I watched Josh Allen against top tier talent. But you probably picked the 3 best teams to watch Josh Allen against. You know what I mean? Make it even and rewatch them. You know what I'm saying?
And I also have been developing like a new way to just like look at like watch players and grade players and stuff. Listen out their strengths and weaknesses. Sure. I overall have like just like a checklist of like, can you do this right, or here, I'll pull it up real quick. But
sure.
It's basically just like a criteria list, and for each criteria, here I'll pull up my Hawkinson report, for example.
But y'all work so hard, boy. But y'all get this doggone template going, and just this is what I want my players to be. Da 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 da. Come on, man. Just eyeball it.
Example,
go ahead.
I know, but for example, we got like for the tight ends, I have route running, hand, versatility, et cetera, blocking, and under each, I kind of just list like a good like little like summary of what I feel, how I feel the play, their like play style is. So for example, Noah Fant, versatility, I said he plays both as a blocker and receiver, although he's much better at receiving tight end. Still very little development in the NFL. He should become a very versatile tight end, because he's not that far away on blocking. I mean, I don't want to get into tight end talk right now, but he's not that far away from blocking. And then I gave him a grade out of 4.5 out of 5.
And you know what? You know what? That's a fantastic example. Noah and TJ, right? Hell, you watch TJ run. Some people think TJ's slow just because he run next to Noah. And that's not the case. TJ can run, and Noah can block. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
TJ is a demigod when it comes to blocking, and Noah run past DBs. You know what I'm saying? That's a great example of what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah.
And TJ's not that bad of a pass catcher either. That's why he's in my tight end one.
Sure.
But that's just a quick example. So I'll probably watch Allen and Sweat, and I'll probably rewatch a little bit of these guys into that system and see what I see in them, so I can give them like a better grade than eyeballing and saying, oh, well, if I was a general manager, I'd take him in this round. Or
so this is where it gets funky though.
That's what I'm doing right now.
This is where it gets funky though. Bosa, Allen, Montez. Who's next? This is where it gets kind of funky right now.
Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
For me right now, it's got Zach Allen. It could
You got
Burns.
Zach Allen. What are you doing, Nick Gassler? What are you doing? You got Zach Allen as your fourth best edge player?
Man, I love what Zach Allen can do.
Explain yourself.
Man, hang on a sec, but like I said, it could also very easily be Brian Burns because he bulked up to whatever he is.
Brian Burns?
You sound like
Brian Burns? I'm about to mute you, Nick. Come on, man. Let me take a call. I'll get back to you later. Pull your scout reports up. Brandon, do you hear this?
Oh, my God.
Zach Allen.
I feel... Look, I came in last time with the funny ha-ha. Ever since I started calling in, I come in with the logic.
Yeah.
He disrespected Rashawn Gary with all of that.
No, Rashawn Gary's my defensive lineman 2 or 3.
Well, see, Brandon, this is my thing. Gary's not on my list neither because I have him rated as a defensive tackle. He's my second defensive tackle.
Okay.
I don't have him rated as an edge.
I have him listed as an edge.
Yeah.
I have him listed as an edge, and actually Ja'Kai Polite listed as a outside linebacker in some 4-3s.
Sure.
I mean 3-4. Sorry.
Sure.
But in a 4-3, Rashawn Gary is actually my number 2 defensive end.
Okay.
Because his bull rush is wicked.
He's talented, sure. He's a talented player, yeah.
Wicked. His bull rush is amazing. I have him above Montez Sweat because Montez Sweat has longer arms, sure, but he doesn't use the bull rush as effectively. So that extra inch and an eighth, what difference is that going to make over Rashawn Gary when he doesn't have that grown man strength yet?
And there's something else interesting too. I know Montez's 40 was faster, but Rashawn Gary plays faster than Montez, you know?
Exactly. Game speed is way different than straight line speed.
I think he plays faster than Montez, which is another reason why I want his ass in B gap. Oh, put his ass in B gap. Look, Aaron Donald is changing the league as we know it. He got 20 sacks being quicker than guards, being quicker and faster than guards. And if you can move fast, he's stronger than you. Man, put Rashawn Gary in B gap and quit playing so much.
Now, let me ask you this.
What's
what do
up?
y'all rate Cleveland Farrell at?
Cleveland Farrell, I don't want to give away my ranking because it ain't really done yet. But he's a top 5 guy because I feel like as a coach I can teach him what he's missing. The one thing everybody ain't got is ball get off and like natural length and strength. You know what I mean? And Cleveland Farrell got ball get off, natural length and strength. And if you give me
genetics, you can't teach that.
If you give me those baseline traits, then I can teach you how to use your hands. I can teach you how to disengage and be ravenous with your counter moves or whatever, right? So Cleveland, absolutely. I can coach him up. I feel like his, like my workload in terms of fixing him ain't as high as it would be like Montez's workload. You can't teach Montez how to bend. You know what I mean? You can't
absolutely.
you can't necessarily
He's very stiff at the hips.
you can't teach Ja'Kai Polite how to not get lost in the run game. He's just a guy to get lost in the run game. You know what I mean? So even though I sound kind of low on Cleveland Farrell sometimes, he's like my 3-4 guy, like number 3, number 4 guy is what I'm saying. Not like 3-4 guy, but
yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Gotcha.
See, I'm listed as my number 4 guy. Of course, I mean Nick Bosa, who let's just start at 2. Of course, it's Rashawn Gary, and then it's Montez Sweat, and then Cleveland Farrell.
Well, you got Zach Allen because Nick Gashler got Zach Allen at damn number 4. Time out, Brandon. Nick, why you got Zach Allen at number 4? Explain yourself, sir.
I like Zach Allen as a 4-3 edge rusher, and I'll tell you why. I didn't see much success when he went against the guard. He's obviously not going to be a lot of what you want athletically going as a pass rusher, but his motor is nice. I like his get off, his first step quickness. He's sort of speedy off the edge. I mean, he's not athletic. He can't go after. He can't go get the running back on a lateral angle. But he can be pretty. Not like super.
You just hit me with five no's, nots, and can'ts and ain'ts. He's your 4th best defensive end, and you just said, well, he's not this. He's not the best at this. He's kind of okay at that. He ain't really, but he's this. That ain't 4th.
No, hold on. Let me finish.
Jesus.
What I mean is he's not going to be able to go chase the running back on a lateral.
Will you stop saying no and not? Will you stop saying no and not for your 4th best edge player? Go ahead, Nick.
He can go after the offensive tackle, use his hands. I love his hand usage and get to that quarterback.
You love his
hands. He has a high football IQ. He does a good job of reading and reacting and moving inside to go get the run if it's a run inside. His bull rush is decent. Again, I love his motor. I don't know. Like I told you last time, Voch, I feel like if he works a little bit harder, he could be very easy with J.J. Watt. Poor man's J.J. Watt, we'll call it that.
He ain't got the size, strength, or length to be J.J. Watt.
He's 6'4", 286 pounds. I don't know.
Have you seen J.J. Watt? J.J. Watt is look. J.J. Watt looked 300 pounds, but he just swole. But he just J.J.'s different. J.J.'s different. J.J. not J.J. is not Zach Allen.
Yeah. He's 6'5", 289. I'm not saying he is J.J. Watt. I'm just saying he could be like a poor man's version of J.J. Watt.
JJ look
long
like
arms too.
JJ look like
long arms too. That's exactly
35-inch arms.
Okay, have you seen Joe Jackson? Nick Gashler. Joe Jackson. Everything you just said. That's good about
man.
Everything you just said. Everything you just said good about Zach Allen. I think Joe Jackson does better than Zach Allen. Everything you just named.
Thank you for bringing him up. I was going to ask a question about guys like him
because
you have to prepare for a world like all contingencies. I just started up a podcast because
plug it.
Football is one of my main hobbies.
Plug it.
The Frankly Football Podcast. I just recorded the first episode today.
Congrats. Send me the link.
I was gonna shoot your Instagram inbox today to get pick your brain a little bit. Get some tips and tricks on it.
Okay.
But you got to prepare for a world where D-Law does not resign. We want him to, but you got to be prepared. What do you think about those guys who have the genetics on their side, and have the instincts on their side, like Joe Jackson, Sharif Miller, where you can maybe teach them, and you can get them in anywhere from like the 5th through the 7th round? Are you maybe going to take a chance on those guys? How do you feel?
And I'm not gonna make this a Cowboy show because this is my draft thing or whatever. But
absolutely.
I don't want to replace DeMarcus Lawrence with a 5th round pick, a 5th round pick that you got to groom and develop. I don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
DeMarcus Lawrence is ready. He's ready to go today. I don't want to have to groom somebody. As far as paying DeMarcus Lawrence, pay him or run Taco out there. I ain't saying Taco's a bad player, but Taco ain't DeMarcus. And I remember days when Cowboys couldn't get pass rush. So I'm not trying to play a game of chicken with D-Law or whatever.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm looking to get bodies out there. The way that I see things, I look for genetics in late round guys, because if you're in the late round, obviously your mind state isn't all the way there.
Okay.
I want to teach you first. If you got your body, you already have an edge over everybody else.
I feel you, man. But Sean Oakman was pretty trash, so I'd rather just sign D-Law. It's just go.
I'm 100% with you. I'm just thinking of all situations. I'm not saying that's what we should do, but I'm gonna be prepared at the same time. I'm not gonna throw all of my eggs in one basket.
Nah, I'm signing D-Law. Nick Gashler, who's your fifth guy before I scream at you again?
Cleveland O'Brien.
Who?
Cleveland O'Brien.
Who?
Cleveland Farrell?
Cleveland Farrell or Brian Burns.
Oh, Cleveland or
okay,
O'Brien. Okay. I'm like, who the hell?
Oh, okay, got you.
Like, who is Cleveland O'Brien? I'm like, who the hell is that? What's
okay, got you.
What school?
Or Brian?
What school he play for? Okay, I got you, Nick Gashler. All right, cool.
No, that's his Madden character. I got it now. That's his Madden character.
Okay. So Brandon, I'm gonna ask you one more question, then hang up on you. Where you got guys like Jalen Ferguson at?
Jalen Ferguson, I got him around like 9.
Okay.
Really good guy. I mean, he has the body again.
Yeah.
Super long hands. I'm a huge guy in genetics. You can't teach that.
Sure.
So I mean, super long arms.
Boy, Sean
decent hand size.
Boy, Sean Open trays. No, go ahead. Don't listen to me.
I didn't come here to be judged.
Don't listen to me.
Don't
Don't listen to me. Go ahead. Just do what you gotta say. Go ahead.
But yeah, man, I mean, 17.5 sacks in 2018? So, I mean, 2 forced fumbles, 4 pass breakups. You can't beat that.
Sure, I guess.
It's a toss-up between him and, let's see. Hold on.
You can't just say you don't know. It's okay. You ain't got
paper. Don't judge me. Chase Winovich.
Chase, okay. Like Chase top 5 for you?
Chase is 8-9.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. All right, Brandon, I'm about to hang up on you, man. Y'all check his. You say the Frankly what? Frank who?
Frankly Football Podcast.
Frankly Football
Coming
Podcast.
out within the next. Yes, sir. Coming out within the next week or 2.
All right, cool. Salute, man.
Yeah. Go Wolf.
Peace. It's implied. Nick Gashler. Same question for you, sir. Jalen Ferguson.
You're talking about Jalen Ferguson.
Sure.
He's a little bit big. I don't think he has the greatest motor. I'm just saying this off the top. I'll pull up his scouting report real quick. Size 6'5", 262 is not terrible. Hand usage. He kind of uses his ability to move inside after the lineman over pursues outside and get inside and get the sack there. His production's obviously pretty good because they call him sack daddy, I think they call him at La Tech. And then he bends well. Strength is pretty good. Solid first step, quickness, and ball get off. A couple things that I don't like about him is his lack of motor.
Sure.
I just don't think he has a great motor.
Sure.
He looks kind of fat on tape. So I don't know if that's the reason why he lacks a motor, but
Sure.
I don't know about that. Slow to diagnose run. It takes him a hot minute to diagnose the run, whether it's a run inside or outside. And then when he ends up doing it, he lacks lateral mobility and quickness to go down and get that guy because he is a little bit fat. So I think if he trims up on his fat and adds that weight and muscle, he could end up being a lot better than what he is right now.
Why you got to use the F? Why you got to use the F word, Nick? Gosh, today. You got to call him the F word. Damn, Carl Lewis. DP, hang tight. You next. Why you got to be all that, Nick? Gosh, what's going on?
Man, we ain't talking about offensive linemen. I'm fine with linemen being fat. If they're fat, they're good.
All right, hold on.
I'll stop throwing around that for my bad.
DP, what's happening, man?
Man, what's going on, Voch? Man, how you feeling tonight?
Man, Peasky Whiskey's always free, and it's implied, you know? What you got for the show?
Hey, I definitely want to even get in with this conversation, man. I mean, I've been listening a little bit. Well, first, I can't believe some of the picks, but
I know. He got what he say? Josh. He got Josh Allen top 5. I know. I agree. Go ahead, DP.
Well, I mean, listen. To be true, like I said before, if you're talking about edge, I rank them a little bit different. You know, when I rank, and I have my boys I follow on Facebook. When I ranked, I said, okay, these are my true defensive ends. This is what I said. I said defensive ends, and then you have outside linebackers, edge, and all that. It can imply too much. I think Josh Allen is a top outside linebacker. He's complete. His bend is great. He has great speed. He is very as I said before, he's comfortable dropping back in coverage and reading the zone. I'm like, okay, well, he's complete. He can go into an NFL 3-4 scheme and be extremely comfortable more than anybody I've seen in this draft. More than anybody I've seen in a long time coming into the draft. Better than Vaughn, because remember, Vaughn is still a guy that he just rushes the passer, period. Vaughn is not all that comfortable dropping back into coverage.
Okay.
So I said Josh is a complete outside linebacker for a 3-4 system. He's complete. But in terms of defensive ends, Yeah, Nick Bosa, I mean, we didn't even got to talk about that. The cat comes from a bloodline. You ain't lying. I think his mom, his aunt, everybody played defensive end in that family. Ain't no lie about that.
The dog can pass rush. All of them.
Serious. For me, but second, I'll be honest with you, Rashawn Gary, if you really look at the size and compare him, Rashawn Gary is the second defensive end that'll come off the board. You can play him at 3-tech, but to me, he's a perfect right side defensive end. Not my fault, left side. I'm thinking of the offensive side.
So
he's a perfect left end.
Okay,
Rashawn Gary is perfect at left end. He's big.
That's
He is strong, athletic. He can bull rush. He can set the edge. He is perfect at left end. I'm like, this is as what your guy was talking about. Which Rashawn is not going. He's not falling probably out of the top 15. I guarantee that. Not falling out of 15. But if he was to even fall to the Cowboys, that'd be the perfect replacement for DeMarcus. Go ahead.
I don't agree. Oh, I don't agree. I think he'll be. Listen, man. I look at how Aaron Donald played ball, right? You want to talk about Cowboys? I look at how David Irvin played ball, right? Just these big guys that can fly. You know what I'm saying? My thing about Rashawn Gary, I think he gets lost in a lot of plays. You know, he doesn't have a lot of control, and he doesn't use his eyes the best. You know what I mean? And I think his skill set fits better in this NFL. I think it fits better playing B-gap, getting upfield in these one-on-one scenarios, busting guards' ass. That's just what I think. Whether it be run play or pass play, if your scheme is getting B-gap guy upfield, oh God, put that dude back put him back at 280 pounds where he was and let him fly.
Well, I mean, if you're right about the speed. I mean, again, he recorded a 4.59 at his size at 277 pounds. Which again, I've been to a combine. Hell, I'll even say some of my old 2003 combine numbers. I can tell you right now, everybody dehydrates almost down to the bare. You are holding the bare amount of water in your body when you're running. That's why you see a lot of those guys cramp. So really, after this guy has a sandwich and a drink, he's 280 pounds. He's 280 pounds again.
Yeah, I agree.
Still running that 4.59. So,
I agree.
But I mean, honestly, Rashawn is great. But I'll be honest with you, Ed Oliver gives me every trait that Aaron Donald gives you.
I agree.
Really,
I think he's
quick.
I think he's way better than Ed Oliver in every level. I mean,
he's bigger, but remember, Ed still gives you that quickness. Ed plays the run a lot tougher than Rashawn. Rashawn, just like you said, his eyes gets him lost because as a natural DN, he's looking around. He's not feeling the guard. You know, if the guard is turning you right, okay, I'm gonna go left. You know, if the guard is turning him right, guess what? Rashawn's going to fly right. He's going to try to beat that gap right. And if you look again how teams run, you can ride that defense up the field. Let your running back cut underneath.
That's exactly why I want him at B gap. I want his responsibility to be from guard foot to tackle foot. I don't want it to be from tackle foot to sideline. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he has the speed to kill it, but in a base 3-4, a base, not base 4, a base 4-3, he could play in. I mean, again, that's just my number 2 personally. Cleveland is number 3. Clearly, he's number 3. Cleveland has great bend, good technique, bull, swim. He has a good stab and slap. I mean, I'm looking at him. I said, okay, this is a 4-year player. Cleveland is a guy that's going to come out into somebody's defense, into somebody's 4-3 defensive end left. No, that's a right defense. My fault. Right the end, and he's going to produce from day one because again, he's in that grown man body. A lot of people, a lot of the fans, and I'll tell this, tell to all you guys. People don't realize in the NFL, the reason why that rule is there, unlike the NBA, your body doesn't fill out yet until you're probably a good 23, 24. You don't get into your man body. Your muscles don't fully fill out until about 22, 23, 24, around that age. And Cleveland's at 23. He's a senior, as well as Austin Bryant. Almost everybody on that defensive line for Clemson were grown men, and that's what they did. So these guys can step into an NFL locker room today and produce almost the same way they did at college. Versus, I mean, Nick Bosa is a little different. I mean, if you looked at Nick when he was in Florida, and I watched him since this kid was down here in Florida at St. Thomas Aquinas, and he was bigger than everybody on the field. So he's been lifting since day one. But if you look at a guy's body and you can see him pretty much fully developed, you say, okay, he can step in. I know Joey Bosa is going to be a beast. You can look at his body. Yeah, he's going to step in. He's going to dominate from day one. His body is already complete.
So
Jadeveon
DP,
Clowney, I never felt that way. I said Jadeveon is still athletic, but his body hasn't filled out yet. I don't see that size. He's going to need a couple of years. Same thing as Tank. I mean, the reason why we drafted Taco, Dallas Cowboy talk, the reason why we drafted Taco, I mean, Tank wasn't doing that much. Tank continued to fill out. Tank was rated as a 3-4 outside linebacker, not a 4-3, not a 4-3 defensive end. He was rated as a 3-4 outside linebacker. He had to continue to fill his body out to become that.
Sure.
And same thing with Taco. I think Taco came in. I told all the guys, especially on my page, I said, guys, Taco needs about 2 years, 3 years max. He needs weight room strength. He needs to get bigger, stronger. You look at his arms. Look at his arms. I'm like, you kidding me? That kid can't push anybody around.
DP,
You know, and you're not going to win in the NFL on strictly athleticism. You got to have that upper body strength. But I'm going to finish with that. Number 4.
Hold on, wait, DP, let me ask you this. Since you ball guy, let me just kind of pick your mind for a minute. Is Cleveland Farrell a natural bender, or does his ball get offer him like a better advantage to get to a landmark to help his bend better?
His ball get off is awesome. Again, you got to remember, he's done this enough. You're talking about he's perfected that.
Wow.
His ball get off helps his bend. Because once you see him get off the ball, the tackle is really resetting that punch arm. You know what I'm saying? The left punch arm. He was already in his stance ready to dip and ready to bend. So he has a clear advantage already. I think he's going to have some issues. I give you like a Tyron Smith.
Yeah.
He's going to have some issues with a Tyron who can punch, who has such a quick punch that can slow down his bend. I think that's what he's got to work past. I think he has a decent bend. He's a good bend. But his get up will get it.
I don't think his natural bend is that good. I think the other kid, Austin Bryan, is a more natural bender than him. What I was seeing from Farrell is that if you got a quick-footed offensive lineman that can get to the landmark quicker than him, then he has a harder time bending. And when you get to the league, that's what you're gonna run into. Which is why the combine needs one-on-one drills. I would love to see him go against like an Andre Diller. You know what I'm saying? Just so I can see what he looks like versus top tier feet.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy real quick. The regional combines,
sure,
they actually do that. Not the main NFL combine. Mm-hmm. The regional combines, you got to bring defense line, O line. They got to bring helmets. They go on it one-on-one.
That's dope, man.
So you actually get a chance to actually see these guys really work against other guys.
That's fun. I want to see Cody Ford versus Quentin Williams so bad. Oh
man, hey man, that's some serious stuff out there, man. It's the regionals. If I know you into the draft thing. I wish I had the time besides work, but if you get a chance to ever look at a regional combine or go to one, oh man, you will love the linemen because they do all the same drills. They do almost all the drills that you see,
sure.
But they tell you bring your helmet because the coaches want to see you go one-on-one against the other linemen. So they're going in. Just strictly helmets and body. That's it.
That's lovely. That's bloody beautiful. God damn.
Oh yeah.
What else you got, DP?
But, I can say for just real quick about some of these defensive linemen this year.
Sure.
I wouldn't say they let me down, but honestly I thought this was a deeper defensive line class. But really, man, the cream is at the top. I'm gonna say that right now. The cream is at the top. Everybody else is, pretty much a project in itself.
Now, see, this is where we disagree. That's where we disagree, though, because I think some of these guys that are going to go later, and I keep saying these same two names, L.J. Collier and Joe Jackson. I don't think they'll be first round picks. They may not be second. They may be like early third guys or whatever. But I like them more than a guy like O'Shane Zimenez for whatever reason that's going to go top 2 for whatever reason. You know what I mean? Or like Jalen Ferguson.
His name is reputation. No, Joe. Listen to me. No, Joe's one of the tops. I don't know if that's what you're thinking. No. I know Joe Jackson is going to be a top defensive man.
I love Joe.
He didn't run. Remember, Joe didn't run. Joe didn't run his 40. That's why he's not being talked about like that.
Sure.
Joe didn't run his 40. He's waiting for his pro day.
Sure.
But Joe's the top guy. But I'm going to give you somebody who you got to watch out for. I'm going to give you somebody who you got to watch out for, and he's my – no, actually I have 2 guys for you, and I need you to write them down. I got 2 guys for you. My namesake, Porter Gaston from USC. He's my this year's Porter Gaston from USC. Look up his numbers. The kick about this kid was he's my this year's Adam Anzalone, who puts up great numbers, great traits, but in college he stayed hurt a lot. But like Adam, when he got, he finally stayed healthy on the field for the Saints. Oh, he was a really good player for them. Porter Gaston is a really good player. 6'4", I believe, 255, ran a 4.69. The bench press, 34 reps.
Linebacker?
He got that upper body. Huh?
Linebacker?
Defensive end.
Oh, okay.
He plays outside linebacker.
Oh, okay, I just heard you talking about Alex Anzalone. Okay, okay, but go ahead.
Adam Anzalone last year. Last year's he was a linebacker. Adam Anzalone was a linebacker last year.
Sure.
And a lot of people, he had put up great numbers. The knock on him was his health, his medical. He was always injured at Florida.
Sure.
When he was on the field, he was great, but he stayed hurt. He was able to stay healthy for the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, got it.
Put up a great season.
That's what you mean.
Right.
Okay.
Porter Gaston, that's my guy for this year. And another sleeper who's going to be at the regional. I tried to talk to your boy Law. He kind of, he missed the wrong tape, but you can look him up. And it's P.J. Johnson from Arizona.
I know about P.J.
6'4",
Johnson.
6'4", 335, D tackle.
Yeah.
You look at his tape when he went up against Arizona State. Your boy Rennell Wren.
Sure.
He outshined Wren in that game.
No, you wait a goddamn.
You had a 6'4", 340-pound man standing up at defensive end, and they had a safety.
You wait a goddamn minute. I love Rennell Wren. You wait a damn minute. You wait a goddamn minute.
Hey, I know you do, but hey, look up P.J. Johnson. He's going to be a regional combine guy. He didn't get invited to the main combine. But watch that cat. I think he's going to be one of those late-round projects that, man, he's going to turn some heads.
Don't you dare.
He's going to turn some heads. So just follow him a little bit. You'd be like, man, you can say, hey, DP caught this one.
Don't you dare talk bad about Rennell Wren. I love Rennell.
Oh, no. I like your boy Rennell. No, I ain't right. I like him. I like him as a late round pick even for us.
Yeah.
Like I said, we need to redo all of our D tackles. I don't like none of them. Hell, I want Crawford gone. $10 million? Hell no, it ain't worth it.
Damn, DP.
It ain't worth it at all to me.
Damn, DP. you a legend and we ain't got to agree, but damn, DP. You want to crawl out the pay? I got a lot of callers, DP. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling, though, man.
Good D thing.
Yeah. Nick, what you was trying to say? You was trying to say something?
What was I trying to say?
It's your stories. Yeah, I know what you were trying to say. I kind of let the goats talk for a long time, but I might run through some of y'all. So let's do this. Jake from State Farm, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Voch?
Doski Woski, sir.
I got a couple of questions for you. I'm looking at some guys that have some. How do I say it? They've got some intangibles that I like.
Okay.
But they're missing, like, maybe athleticism.
Sure.
One of mine I like, I guess my pet cat.
Day three guys, basically. Basically, day three guys, basically.
Yeah, well, day two, late day two, late day three, Nelson out of Iowa. I like
Carl
him
Nelson. Not Carl Nelson. Anthony Nelson. Anthony Nelson. Yeah. Gotcha. Senior Bowl guy. Yeah, I seen him. Yeah. Go ahead. So
I actually like him as like a backup defensive end, like a Tyrone Crawford type that we can move down to a 3-tech.
Okay. I don't necessarily see too much 3-tech in his future, but I can see him as a rotational guy. Sure. Yeah, I feel you on that. Who else?
And well, I like Miller too, out of Alabama. Alabama's
Christian.
Yeah, Christian Miller. He's a little light in the ass end, but I think he'll put on his man body here in a couple of years.
Sure.
And I'm just trying to see, who do you have in those late rounds, those little potential diamonds in the rough?
I like Jonathan Ledbetter from Georgia, just as an athlete. Not the most polished or whatever, but he does have athleticism. You can probably teach him a little bit. Charles Amena, who got a lot of length on him. He's also not the most polished guy in the world. And he may be like a 3rd, 4th round pick or something, but he's more of a Tyrone Crawford type of guy where you can put him at left defensive end and move him into 3-tech. He just got a pretty good body. I don't know where DeAndre Walker from Georgia is gonna go. You know what I mean? But if you're a 3-4 team, you need an outside linebacker. He seems to have a good palette to work with as far as traits to teach and having natural things already that you can just add a little bit to. So that's just a handful of guys.
All right, well, yeah, the last one, Jalen Ferguson. If you were Dallas, where would you take him? Because, man, he's got some red flags on him already, and we've been hit with that too many times already.
Yeah, but those red flags were from his freshman year.
Sure. That's
3 years ago.
Yeah. That was long, like character stuff was a long time ago. But as a football player, he disappears a bunch. You know what I mean? I don't think he's all there sometimes. You know, whether it be sometimes in a run game or perfect example. He was in a bowl game versus Hawaii, I believe, something like that. And he kind of played. But when they was like, yo, Jalen, get the sack record, then he went to go get his sacks real fast, right? Then after that, we didn't see nothing else from him. You know what I mean? It's just he kind of plays on his own terms, and that ain't necessarily the type of football player I like. But he can play though. I just don't prefer that type of player.
I got you. Well, I'm gonna get up out of your hair. I know you got a lot of callers.
Appreciate it, Jake.
All right, stay now.
Yep. Man, I was just about to get to my other platinum caller, but he hung up. Let's get into this cat. 901-572-713. What you gonna do? What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on with it, Voch?
Doski Woski, man. Peasky Whiskey free. What you got for the show?
Man, all I want to say is, okay, on my boy Montez Sweat, Mississippi State signing, I believe he's going to be the best all-around defensive end in the draft, for sure.
Okay.
I feel like he's Jadeveon Clowney 2.0, you know what I'm saying? But he's got to
Jadeveon Clowney.
You know what I'm saying?
Jadeveon Clowney 2.0. God damn.
Yes, sir. You know how Jadeveon was a free athlete, and they was like, oh, he's the pass rusher, da-da-da. No, he's not a damn pass rusher. Because the thing is, he's stiff as hell, but what he is, he's long and strong, and he's fast. Put that boy at 280. If you put that boy at 280, put that boy a strong side defensive end, he's going to be like a Jadeveon Clowney 2.0 or Cameron Jordan. No, a guy that doesn't get all of the hype because his exact numbers on there, but just an all-around polished defensive player. You feel?
Polished? God damn.
Polished. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He needs a lot of weight room. He needs a lot of coaching. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
A lot of weight room, a lot of coaching. And on the boy Quentin Williams,
yeah.
I know I'm going out on a limb with this guy, but I really feel like his best spot is strong side defensive end as well.
Yeah.
I know you, as a coach, you probably like, what the hell is this guy talking about? But hear me out, but young Bull got a lot of body fat he can shed. And he ran a 4.8. He got that type of strength and athleticism on the edge. You don't have your ankle. And then on third down, you can move him inside all day long. I believe if you cut down Quentin Williams just a little bit, you can play him all around the line from edge all the way to good. I wouldn't do him at a no technique, no surf, but the only reason Arizona don't play 14 is because he's short as hell.
Well, I don't necessarily hate the notion of it because I think Quentin Williams is so good that he can play all up and down the line. But his best position is 3-tech in a 4-3. However, if you want to put him at defensive end in a 3-4, you can do that for him today. He ain't got to lose weight to do that. Because he's fantastic with his hands, strength point, holding guys, two gapping. He's good at that right now. As far as his best position, strong side defensive end, nah, I ain't trying to put him there. I ain't trying to do that. But I do understand what you're saying though. He can absolutely play anywhere in the D line. Yeah.
I feel like his combination of pass rush polish and his size will make him a perfect. Because a lot of times with these strong side defensive ends, you lose the pass rush ability from a lot of these guys. And I feel like if you put Quentin Williams there, you still got a lot of pass rush ability. Plus, he's gonna be an anchor on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that's just, you know what I'm saying. I know it's kind of unconventional. You want the big solid guy to play on the inside with the boot deck, but the thing about these decks, I like Arizona. When you put them on the inside, okay, they can fly, they can shoot the gap like them, but by them being so small for the position, not exactly small, but small follow the defensive line because you will. And by them always shooting the damn gap, man, you leave your run game wide the hell open, and you better have an offense that can score points. Because if the Rams didn't have an offense that could score points, they wouldn't have been shit. Because that run defense was ridiculous before. Like something sucks.
Well, I feel you.
Because you got.
Well, I feel you, and that's kind of sort of why I halfway agree with you. If you look at what Wade does with Aaron Donald, and you look at what the Jets do with Leonard Williams, they do move those guys around, and you know, right. Quentin kind of fits in that mold too. But those guys do end up either playing two gap on the end, or they end up playing B gap going upfield. So.
Got to get upfield. It's a pass rushing league, of course. On the defensive side of the ball, I can understand. You know, you want to get your guys inside the pass rush. You better have an offense that can go with it. Because if you got guys like Quentin Williams that constantly shooting the gap, you're gonna get sliced up in the run. But the Quentin Williams, he can play the run though. You know, he's not Aaron Donald 2.0 in that regard. He can play the fucking run.
Okay. Listen, man, real fast before I hang up. Where you at right now, man? The chat box say the goddamn chat box say a helicopter starting up in your background. Hey, so you about to climb into a helicopter? Where you at right now?
Oh, big dog, I'm a truck driver, man. So I'm riding down the road, bro. I'm on my way to Alabama, Mississippi, dog. Oh,
I got you, Mississippi hometown, dog. You know what I'm saying? It just sound like a bar fight was in your background what the chat box was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Sound like something's going on.
Oh, mighty dog, get down, man.
I got you, man. But hey, man.
All like that for you, dog. Just looking at all these systems these guys got, man. I really ain't got no deep insight. And check this out, Justin Williams the best, the second best D tackle in the motherfucking draft. Just to end it on that note, I know we talking about his guys, but I mean Justin Simmons, best D tackle besides those 20 Williams.
I agree. Jeffrey Simmons okay, so I got Rashawn Gary number 2, but if you consider Rashawn Gary like an end, then yeah, Jeffrey Simmons would be number 2. Yeah, so it just kind of depends on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like my ESPN, man. I'm a Chargers fan, and I see what these little bitty pass rushing defensive ends get you when the big boys step up. It don't get you nowhere. You're gonna get dog walked out there, man. You got the 245, 250 edge guys playing ends with their hand in the dirt. Okay, it works well when you got a lead. If you ain't got a lead, you're gonna get dog walked out there, man. I played D-line in school, and I was a small guy. You know what I'm saying? So I know what it looks like when a guy outweighs you by 50 to 100 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. What's your name, man? I gotta plug you in platinum so you ain't gotta wait so long the next time. What's your name?
Mississippi Manny, man.
Mississippi Manny.
Yes, sir.
Mississippi Manny. What part of Mississippi you from?
I'm from the top half, man. Just over up there by Memphis and shit.
Gotcha. I was born and raised in Natchez, Mississippi. Salute to you, Mississippi, man. All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Hey, man, the chat box says it's too cold outside to have that fan on the background. Nick, boy got the loudest air conditioner on. Boy, sound like an arm wrestling contest was in the truck.
Man, he said he had a fan on. It's goddamn March. It's 2 degrees outside in Colorado. What's he doing with a fan on?
Oh man. Did you have any more notes before we wrap this thing up?
I don't think so.
All right, let me just kind of run this down there. O'Shane Zimenez, man, I think he's being overhyped a little bit, man. He's just not a tough player to me. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't have a lot of ass whoop in him, but he did kind of move around for the combine pretty well. Just my thoughts about him. Ja'Kai Polite, apparently scouts calling him trash because he had a bad run in his 40 and he faked a hamstring injury. So then he lied about it in the interviews or whatnot. So that's It's a little rough there, Jacob Polite. The ownerships and the GMs and the scouts are on to you. LJ Collier, that's one of my sons, man. Huge fan of LJ Collier. Carl Grandison from Wyoming, pretty solid dude. Hey, man, for everybody that's watching live right now, something y'all can do with these damn ends. A lot of these guys are Senior Bowl players, and I got all the Senior Bowl practices, and I got the Senior Bowl game up on my channel, so y'all can go check that out. So, guys, let's run down the list. Who was at the Senior Bowl? Montez was there. Jalen Ferguson. O'Shane Zimenez was there. Zach Allen was there, in which his game wasn't that great. Ben Banogu, LJ Collier was there. Jalen Jelks, Anthony Nelson, Sutton Smith, Charles Amenahu, Jonathan Ledbetter, Carl Grandison, and Byron Coward. Everybody a lot of these ends are seniors and Senior Bowl guys. So, just a part of your end evaluation. Tune your ass in. Tune your ass into these Senior Bowl practices and check them out. Nick Gash, let me ask you a question, man. What you think about this hoodie I got on right now, man? About this light hoodie, this O-line film hoodie I got on right now. What you think about?
I love that.
Man,
I love that hoodie, man.
Man, it's top tier, man. But it ain't just for offensive line fans, man. If you're a wide receiver fan, I got an O-line film shirt for you. If you
is that on your website?
It's on my yeah. The link is in the description. Go down there, shop.
Yeah.
Let me scroll down and drop that thing in the description. Just in case.
I love that.
Man,
O-line film, running back film, QB film.
That shit top tier. That shit top tier, man. That shit top tier. Why the hell can I not find the? Okay, no. Yeah, okay, cool. I shortened the link. My bad. There we go. It's Spreadshirt. Shop.spreadshirt.com/ hold on, goddamn it. Let me copy this. I'm up here saying the damn name wrong. I shortened the URL, man.
Anybody got a goddamn yellow hoodie yet?
Has anybody gotten a yellow hoodie yet?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they got a whole bunch of colors.
I'm saying, there you go. Check it out. But no, nobody has gotten a yellow hoodie yet. So shop.spreadshirt.com/ shop Lombardi. And I'm dropping a link in the description for you to check out right now if y'all want to support and get you one of these shirts. Whatever position you like to watch the most. They even got an Edge film shirt up there. The I Watch Film Joint Speed Strength Ass Whoop. I got 2 designs up there. I got the Black Panther Marfa Doski Woski with the Wakanda letters and all that. Check it out, man. Check it out. Nick Gashler. Final thoughts before we get up out of here.
Man, this edge class, like whoever said earlier, it's not what you think, but it's pretty good at the top, and there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to love these edge rushers at the top. Hopefully these QBs, this stupid QB madness, is going to drive these edge rushers down to teams like, I don't know, Dolphins, the Cowboys, if they can trade up. These type of teams can get top-tier talent at edge rusher. We'll see, but this is a stacked class, and we're going to love these guys going forward. I think they're going to be very productive in the NFL.
So this is what we're going to do because we got David on the phone, and David saw us wrapping up the show. But we're going to go ahead and get the David call, but we're going to play a good old round-the-clock game. Boy, you can't beat clock game. Nick Gash, what's a good time for a clock game?
We're going to call it 50 seconds.
50 seconds? Let's see if we can get a good 50-second round of clock game in for old David. Let's go, 50 seconds. So in case y'all not familiar with the rules of clock game, we got 50 seconds for this next caller. I'm going to do my intro. Yo, what's up, David? David is going to say, what's up, Voch? I'm going to be like, what you got for the show? And his time will start. All right, so we're going to run this for the cardio, and we're going to go. What's up, David?
What is up, Voch? How you doing, brother?
Man, Doski Woski, man. The Peasky Whiskey is free. What you got for the show, brother?
Yes, sir. That Charles Amenahu, I do know that your squad had talked to him.
Sure.
How they little interviews at the combine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that cat reminds me of Carlos Dunlap, man, by the size and everything. I just don't know if he can bat down balls.
He damn sure can. Big old dude, got a lot of length, powerful. He could probably use a little bit of nuance as a pass rusher or whatever, but he can give you value as a left defensive end and like a 3-tech. So, yeah.
Yeah, you got coaches that'll coach him. But the reason why I called, I got a sleeper for you that nobody talked about. He had 2 sacks at the East-West Shrine game.
Okay.
He needs some more weight because he's kind of light in the butt.
Yeah.
255, 260. But it's this cat Jordan Brailford out of Oklahoma State, defensive right end.
Jordan Brailford?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I'll take a look at him and see what I can find on him.
Yes, sir. He got a little speed to him and everything. And like I said, if you look at the East-West Shrine game, he had 2 sacks and like about 2 or 3 pressures.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. You got something else you want to say?
I hope that the Falcons don't.
All right, David, that's your time, man. Appreciate you, bro. I got to get you up off here. Nick,
You couldn't beat the clock, man.
Nick, you know I paused the clock. Nick, you know I paused it and then asked him. David, thanks for being a great sport. But I got to wrap the show up. David, you did great. You asked a great question. You gave me 2 good prospects, but damn. I waited on purpose. David, get a shirt.
Keep on.
David, get a shirt. David, hit the subscribe button, please. Hey, man. It's Voch Lombardi, man. Like the video, please. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when I drop random-ass film sessions in the middle of the week just like this. What's next? Okay, we're talking Edge guys today. So I'm going to drop my Edge ranking video tomorrow. So y'all stay tuned for that. I feel like doing it tonight, but I got a phone call. I got to make this way more important than that. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the video. I'm going to put it out tomorrow. And wait, time. We got one more caller. We got one more caller.
Damn. They don't want this to end.
Let me set the call. Hold on, Nick. Hold on, wait, time. Nick. All right, cool. We got Bob on the phone. What up, Bob?
Well, I saw you. I've been watching your show and everything, and here's the deal:
Bob, my bad, Bob. We gotta go. We run out of bandwidth. My bad, Bob. My bad. We running out the clock. I'm sorry, Bob. Hey, Bob, call in on the next show. Call the next show, Bob. Hey, we gotta wrap the show up. It's Voch Lombardi. Y'all, please like the video. We gotta go. Salute. Peace, y'all. We gotta